The history of a story, with a disastrous result, from a financial point of view, after 6 months from the biggest investment. But, let's start with the beginning. This is our first solar panel. I use ours, because I didn't start alone, I have a partner. The panel is 160 watts. These are the first tools. The 1500 watts inverter, the 20 amps charger, and the 120 amps gel battery, but the cheapest. The battery didn't give me the results I expected. I wanted that 300 watt car heater to work for at least an hour on the batteries, but no, it barely worked for 30 minutes. So, after a few days, we decided that in fact the charger has the blame and we need an mppt charger. Said and done, only that we decide for the cheapest, but which can manage 100 amps. We were thinking that in the future, we will buy bigger and stronger panels, and we must have a good and to be mppt charger. So we bought 3 panels of 450 watts each, that is 1350 watts all 3. We dug a ditch and installed the earthing system. We bought iron to build a support for the panels. We couldn't mount them on the house, because I'm going to change the roof. We bolted the iron, according to the scheme we made, and mounted the support. After a few days, we mounted the panels on it. We bought 3 more batteries to have 4. But from this moment, the problems began, without being seen. Instead of buying 3 gel batteries, we bought 3 truck batteries. The price of the gel ones being 3 times higher, and this was the main reason. I expected them to work for a minimum of 12 months at maximum capacity, then gradually decrease and use them for at least 24 months, and my partner predicted a minimum of 24 months, and a usage period of approximately 5 years. So, I decided in favor of lead-acid truck batteries. After a while we realized that the current inverter cannot work with consumers higher than 300 to 350 watts. So we decided that it is necessary to switch to a higher quality inverter that can be connected to the network when the batteries run out. We bought the inverter that we still have at the moment, of 1800 real watts. Everything was working well. Then, we decided to double our storage capacity, so we bought 4 more batteries identical to the 4 we had, also for trucks, all 120 amps, identical. Here is the second investment mistake. We thought they were the same, and bought after a relatively short interval. The system worked quite well, but unfortunately for a short time period. We also bought some measuring tools, because the inverter doesn't show us everything we would have liked. The general situation was quite good. Until one day, I noticed that the batteries no longer hold electricity like before. Every day they kept degrading, so the time I was used to working decreased from day to day. I noticed that the batteries that we bought the first time were boiling when they were being charged. I checked the fluid level and it was normal. I decided that it is a charging problem, or maybe a battery or 2 is not working well, so we bought 2 battery equalizers to solve the problem. The problem was not solved. It got worse from one day to the next. In a maximum of 30 days from the first symptom, all 8 batteries could only maintain the inverter, but without consumers. As they are now, I can only store energy for the operation of the inverter overnight. During the day, we can only use the system when the sun is shining. We'll be back with what happens next. We have plans to replace the batteries.